All right, I'm not gonna be lazy on this one. I'm actually gonna go and put this one on the internet exact after I'm done with this recording. Had a couple of recordings, but I haven't got them published yet. But anyway, I just want to say this. I was looking at Ninja Kids. It was like a short, and I thought about something because I think they do like they do kind of like. I don't know if they like, okay, so they're like, there's a YouTube channel on YouTube called Ninja Kids. I wonder if I'm saying that right. Kid Ninjas or something like that. And I was sitting back looking at the, oh, that's Sasha. At the video, it was like a short. It was like this little, where it had the watches and stuff like that. Now it's like a scavenger hunt, I think. But anyway, that's not really the real reason why I'm making this video. Is not really because of that channel. Is because if you're young or old or whatever, not like if you want to check that channel out, go check it out if you haven't heard of it, Ninja Kids. But for the purpose of me making this video was the fact that I was just sitting back thinking about Power Rangers. Actually, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that real quick. Anyway, this is the main purpose of this video. Is real quick before I forget, is that I wish Netflix and Hasbro had made Boom Comics and turned that Shattered Grid into an animated series. Because you know how like they sitting up there talking about they want to do Mighty Morphin. Well, there you go. You had Shattered Grid sitting right there in front of your face. You had a whole comic book series. It didn't have to be word for word. It could have had some animation exclusives to it. You know, whatever. I don't know. Could have been a 10 episode. Well, it could have been like a could have been a 40 episode thing. Maybe it could have been 40 or 80 episodes, because you could have literally pushed this out, like literally, and break it up in seasons. Of course, you know, you had like 8 seasons of it or whatever. I don't know, 5 seasons, 50 episodes. I don't know, but Boom Comics, Hasbro, and Netflix should all got together. A matter of fact, it's Hasbro. Hasbro should have been the one to say, hey, Netflix, okay, we need to use your animation team. We are going to make an animated series. You know, we've been talking about it for a while, and because I heard rumors about they wanted to make an animated series or something like that. People on the internet, and I remember I was one of the first ones talking about this back many years ago. People disliked that video because I said, hey, just do the animation. But now that the Boom Comics are popular, it's very popular. You can look it up. It's very popular. And Netflix should have, Hasbro could have went to Netflix when they was pitching those ideas. Hey, let's get with Boom Comics, let's get the rights for the animated series. They can keep the comic books going, whatever they're doing over there, and we need to make the Shattered Grid, turn that into an animated series, and voila, we got our Mighty Morphin. We kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. They got their Mighty Morphin, and Netflix wanted to do something original, which is not really original because you're using Boom Comics ideas, and Netflix could have got Boom Comics and say, hey, we want to put some of our own little exclusiveness to it, and like some characters or whatever, or story. I mean, not too. You don't want to negate from what Boom Comics already built, but kind of want to like do their own. Well, how am I trying to say this without confusing the whole narrative? Like, you know how like sometimes the anime and the manga, sometimes they got something different to it, kind of like that. And maybe the anime might do something a manga would not, the manga didn't do, or something, you know, where you could tell the different, you could what's the word I'm looking for? The differentiate. I'm butchering that word, but you get what I'm trying to say. And you don't want to get too far away from the comic book material. Anyway, but back to Ninja Kids. Let's say, for an example, they did continue the live action, you know, Power Rangers. What if they would add it like they did with Beetleborgs? Beetleborgs was a good example of this, when they had young kids playing the role of middle school, high school kids. Because I was sitting back thinking about this for a while anyway. I was sitting there thinking like, okay, you had was it Drew, Joe, and you had I forgot the last, Roland, I think that was his name. And you had all 3, and it was like, that had been like no older than 16, maybe 17, but I liked how they did Beetleborgs when they were kids, and now they don't, and they didn't have to do the entire season of Power Rangers as kids. Like they could have had picked, like, because Justin was a good example of this. When Turbo, you can have your whole teenager, like legit teenager, kids playing in the season. Like Megaforce would have been a good example. Would have been perfect for that if they would have did that for Megaforce. That would have been perfect. And I know people gonna look at me crazy. And I liked how the Tyler. I wish like Tyler and Shelby and that crew from Dino Charge. I wish they was kind of more like career ordinance type of Rangers, meaning they were over 20. And they should have acknowledged they were over 20, and then they and like more career based. Like Ninja Storm is Ninja Steel been a little different because when you're a ninja, you are always in school, no matter what. But what I liked about Ninja Storm compared to Ninja Steel, Ninja Storm was more based on like an actual on-ground training academy versus being a training academy with being in school. It was dumb. I didn't like that. I'm sorry, I just completely didn't like it. Ninja Steel, even though I got my problems with Ninja Steel, it actually turned into a guilty pleasure. I still hate the idea of these ninjas were actually going to a high school. Maybe one of the characters could have been in college or something like that. You know, could try to further their education. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, but when everybody's doing it, it's like, okay, I could see maybe the Red Ranger. I'm gonna use because I know they always make it the Red Ranger always this like how Jaden was in Samurai, like he was this stern, over the top, serious training dude. You know, they could have just had him. I'm thinking I'm messing up his name. I don't think his name is Brody, but you get the point I'm trying to say. It might be. I forgot his name. He could have been like the guy who furthered his education, while the rest of them is more in the Ninja Academy. You know what I'm saying? And then like at the end, he could have been like, okay, I want to do this in my career, and if you guys ever need me in the future, I'm always a ring away. They could have done it like that at the, you know, when they conclude, like they did with Devin character, or did with Jack character, you know. And I noticed there's a pattern there, but yeah, they could have done it that way, like how Jack gave up his powers and he wanted to continue. He didn't want to be a Ranger no more. He continued to do whatever he wanted to do, and then you had Devin evolve into more of a more of a general type, you know. Or Scott Truman from RPM, you know, he continued doing the Red Ranger stuff, you know. So it don't really, I guess he didn't elevate to become a general like his dad. But anyway, Ninja Steel, I can see that being more of a 20-year-old maybe type of show, which Megaforce could have been literally like the Beetleborgs. Like they were young, they was in, because you in high school at between 13 and 17 years old, or 18, 19 in some cases, believe it or not. But yeah, you know, but yeah, it's crazy to think about how Power Rangers could have just went back and forth with some seasons. Like, what was another season that could have seen that happening too? I mean, Megaforce was like one of the biggest. Maybe Beast Morphers. Beast Morphers, I guess, could have had a younger. Well, not really. I guess Beast Morpher did right by having them older. They weren't really in school like that. They were kind of more career-oriented type of Rangers. What other Ranger I could have probably seen? And it can't be Time Force, Wild Force, definitely not. Ninja Storm, none of the Disney era. I guess none of the Disney, except for Operation Overdrive. They could have done it probably then, but everybody else was more career oriented. Like I want to say, yeah, because I know it was Mighty Morphin through Turbo. They were all, oh no, Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all the way through In Space. They were more high schoolers, and then Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescues, Time Force, Wild Force, Ninja Storm, SPD, Mystic Force. Wow, they were all more career oriented. Even Operation Overdrive to Jungle Fury. Wow. I guess it wouldn't have fit, but I guess Megaforce could have fit more if they really wanted that high school-esque type show, you know. But I don't know. But anyway, I think they could have done that maybe in this like Cosmic Fury. They could have probably done that in there, but Cosmic Fury was a good cast, so I can't really say to take that away from there. But yeah, but I definitely would have loved to see Hasbro, Netflix, and Boom Comics would have got together and legitly made a animated series. I think it's time. I think Power Rangers, because it's no excuse. Because I know people talk about, oh well, Power Rangers, they won't survive in animation. Ultraman and Godzilla are a lot older than Power Rangers. People, come on now, let's stop the nonsense. You have Ultraman that's a lot older than Power Rangers, been out a lot longer. You had Gundam, that's a lot older than Sentai, and you also have Godzilla, which all three of those are based off of animation. Like literally, you could legitimately make a movie off of Gundam, and it could look just like Transformers. So it doesn't really. There's no excuse. Power Rangers will work great as an animation for many, 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 many reasons. I don't want to hear this whole. Oh, it won't work, and it won't catch. That is a lie. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. Power Rangers have lasted 30 freaking years. How you doing? And turned around and be like, hey, there is no excuse why they can't do it. So yeah, it's crazy. Oh, sorry about that. I was waving at the mail lady. I think she was trying to figure out what I was doing because I was in the car with the camera. But yeah. Anyway, there is no excuse why they cannot make an animated series. They're making this harder than what they're supposed to be making this. Maybe this is a time where you guys could do the animation for a while and probably make a new seasons off of animation. You guys can literally sit there and make new seasons off of it. Might be I'll call it the you got the live action production, and now you have the animation. And what I mean by live action production or distribution, all the stuff they distributed in live action. And now you can have another list of what you guys can do for the animation block. Now you have more freedom because you don't have to really worry about moving stuff. Unless you're gonna move animation companies or whatever. But anyway, you can literally do that if you guys want to continue this. And then years later, if you guys want to go back to a live action, you guys can go back to the live action. Then you guys can flip back to animation. You see what I'm saying? And then, like I said, the Boom Comics could be like his own little art, own little genre, a little side thing, and you can connect it and have it connect with the main storyline. It's so much you could do with animation. It is so much. Sometimes, and I don't want to hear about, oh, they can't. Look at Star Wars. They got the cartoon literally filling in the blanks of what they couldn't do with the movie. Come on now, you got the Star Wars animation doing that. So don't even sit there and cap like that and say, oh well, Power Rangers will look crazy as a cartoon. If they can do it in Star Wars, if they could do it in Godzilla, and if they can do it in Ultraman, heck, you could bring Beetleborgs back as a cartoon if you guys can get the rights. Because I think they own Beetleborgs. I think they got the rights to Beetleborgs because of the Total Spawn package and VR Troopers. Come on now, come on. And then you could use the animation series. Let's say VR Troopers and Beetleborgs, because they left in cliffhangers. They actually can finally do conclusions to the Beetleborg and VR Trooper franchise with an animation. That's another thing. That's another thing right there. You guys, you're making this a lot complicated. I know I'm not a business guy in a suit and I don't make the big moves, and I'm not no YouTube influencer, so I can't really influence it. And even if I could, they probably would still wouldn't listen. But it's like it's right there. The writing is on the wall, folks. The writing is there. It's like, come on. And if the ones that don't want to see the cartoon, they don't have to watch it. But most of the time, they're gonna probably sit back and they're gonna watch it. So it don't even matter. So, people, or Hasbro, Netflix, I wish you guys never destroyed your relationship. Somebody should have had a clear head and should have really been like, hey, let's sit back and I would have been like, wait a minute, why don't we just get in touch with Boom Comics? You got something going right there. Boom Comics. I would have said, hey, you got Boom Comics, but you got an arc we can do, and we can use that cartoon, and we can connect it with the TV series, the live action, and then once we're done with Shattered Grid, we can probably start up a Power Ranger animation serial line, just like the live action. This video went on long enough. I got kind of emotional, this is what I'm saying is might not be facts to you, but it feels like facts for me, because they could have done a lot with this series. All right, you guys, take care and have an awesome day.